How we doing, guys? Welcome to the preview and the predicted lineup. Wolves against Arsenal this evening. Another really random kickoff time. But listen, let's try and be positive now. Put the past week behind us. It's happened. It's done. It's not even worth worrying about now. We cannot change anything. And we need to remember we are still in a title race. Now, I've got my thoughts and opinions on Man City in their last 6 games and whether they're going to lose any or drop points somewhere or whatever. But you cannot go into the final few games of a season only a couple of points behind the team that are top and say it's done, it's finished, it's over. You know, you just can't. Maybe your head and your heart say 2 different things. But you cannot sit there when you're so close and just give up. You know, Man City have some difficult away games coming up. Now, they're not going to have Champions League football to contend with, which is actually why I wanted them to beat Real Madrid, so that it might have took their eye away from things. They're going to get full rest and whatnot. Brighton away could be a difficult one. Spurs away is notoriously a difficult one. So yes, we've got some tough fixtures, but so have they. And all we can do is our job, and then what will be, will be. Now, Man City don't play this weekend because of the FA Cup semi-final. We also play in midweek before Man City play. So we could be 4 points clear before Man City kick a ball again in the Premier League. Now, they will have 2 games in hand. But what's the old saying? I'd rather have points on the board than games in hand. If we could just put a bit of pressure on them, who knows what happens. What you don't want to do is not win these next 2 games and then Man City have just got a free run at it. Dependent on what Liverpool do as well. We need to remember there's a third team in here. But Liverpool have literally had a week as bad as ours, where they're so down in the dumps and feeling like everything's over. And they've got 3 tough away games coming up as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting. And we just need to worry about ourselves and take care of business ourselves. And that starts with this game against Wolves. Now, Wolves are 11th in the table. And this is one of those games where Molineux is not always the easiest of places to go. The fans can be quite up for it. But where they sit right in the middle, it's one of those ones. They're not going to be going and getting European places. And they're not going to be relegated. So where do you catch them? Now, the good news is that Wolves have a really bad injury crisis at the moment. And not good news in terms of players being injured, because I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but good news in the sense that these players are missing, and it's good for us because they're big players. Neto, a player that we all know about and a lot of people have said they would like at Arsenal, he's missing. Semedo, he's missing. Cunha, he's missing. He's their top goal scorer. Dawson's missing. Ait Nouri and Hwang Hee-chan, they're not even 100%. Apparently they're going to be involved, but they're not right. And listen, when you look at all those players that are missing, especially the likes of Neto and Cunha, etc., they're big players for Wolves, and they're going to be big misses for them. I think the one thing with us and what we need to do is how we respond from, you know, the defeat against Bayern Munich, how we respond to the defeat against Aston Villa. And like I said, we can only control what we do. And what I don't want to do is just go out on a whimper and just kind of let all of the hard work over the months that have gone by, and especially 2024 and how well we've been, just fizzle out to nothing. Let's push Man City all the way, and then we will see what happens. Let's push them all the way, and hopefully they slip up. Because let's just say we go and mess things up, and then Man City do slip up, you'll be sitting there and thinking, oh no, why did we do that? Why did we not, you know, you don't want that. Let's not have no regrets. And yeah, listen, team lineup's going to be very interesting. We do have to go strong at the end of the day. We've got Chelsea in midweek at the Emirates. And I think the one bonus in many ways is that Chelsea actually have Man City this weekend in the FA Cup semi-final. So it's not going to be an easy weekend for them. In an ideal world, you want that game to go to extra time. So Chelsea have to play, you know, those extra minutes. And they're not going to go into this game without a full strength side. They're not going to be going into it and going, okay, rest players here, there, or, you know, with all due respect, if they would have got Coventry, and I'm saying that with all due respect, you know, because I still think that they've done unbelievable to get to where they have, and they're in the semi-final, and they're going to give Manchester United a run for the money, that's for sure. But you get what I'm saying. So one game at a time. These are all cup finals, and we need to just get back to winning ways. We need to just get that feel-good factor again. We need to put the past behind us, the week we've had, and all the rest of it, and go again. And listen, we'll see what happens, but the team lineup is going to be very, very crucial. So with that said, this is what I am going to go with. In goal, David Raya. Very straightforward decision. Now, in the defence, I feel that this is where some changes could well be made. On the right-hand side, I'm going to go with Tomiyasu. Ben White looks absolutely shattered. And he is carrying a bit of a knock. And I just feel that with Chelsea in mind, and it's very difficult to try and think of games in mind because you could take your eye off the ball. But I would play Tomiyasu at right back anyway. Right centre-back, William Saliba, very straightforward. Left centre-back, Gabriel, again, very straightforward. These are the two players in the key position that doesn't change. It just does not change. Left back, Zinchenko. Now, I know that there's going to be a lot of talk about his performance last week. And, you know, when the dust had settled, I had a little sit down and watch the game again against Aston Villa. And in the first half in particular, Zinchenko didn't actually have a bad game. He actually played really well. And a lot of our chances that were created were because of Zinchenko. Now, Havertz played deep and he was making a lot of runs. And Zinchenko was the one that was tasked with finding him. And 9 times out of 10 he did. And he created a lot. So I think we need to just be objective here. And, you know, Zinchenko needs to come into the side for this one. And it's as simple as that. That's what I'm going with. In front, I will go with Thomas Partey. Now, I don't know whether Mikel Arteta is going to do that because it's very evident or something just seems very clear that, you know, they've fallen out or he doesn't trust him enough at the moment or whatever because he's not involved at all. We've waited for him to come back from his injury, been told how important a player he is, and then in our big games, he's just not being involved. So it's a strange one, but for me, I'm going to bring Thomas Partey into that midfield. On the right-hand side, Bukayo Saka, he will stay into the side. It's as simple as that. I don't think we've got many other options. I'm not putting Reece Nelson and that there because, you know, there just isn't anything that we can do or go there. And it's as simple as that, really. So Bukayo Saka goes there. Needs to perform better than what he did, you know, in Munich because that was a awful, awful performance from him. Next to him, we have Martin Odegaard. Very straightforward one. And it's one player that can hold his head high. He's just doing what captains are supposed to do is the best way of saying it. So it's very simple. Next to him, Declan Rice. Again, straightforward. You know, some will say he looks like he's gone off the boil a bit the last few games. Maybe it's fatigue, it's tiredness. I don't know. But he's an important player and I play him. And it's as simple as that. On the left-hand side, I'm going to go with Gabriel Jesus. Not Martinelli. Again, an absolute stinker against Munich. And the one thing I've noticed in the last 2 games is that Martinelli has been at fault for the first goals in both games. Against Aston Villa, switched off and lost Bailey, who had a simple task at the back post. And then on Wednesday in Munich, fell asleep. And yeah, it's not acceptable. And he hasn't been right since he picked up that little foot injury and he's come back. And listen, to be quite honest, he hasn't been right all season. It's been an absolutely poor season, given how well he done last year. But yeah, Gabriel Jesus for me, he will go out on that left-hand side. And then up front as the main striker, Kai Havertz. If you're going to play Kai Havertz, play him as the striker. It's as simple as that. Not deeper, not anything, just up front as the striker. With Wolves missing the likes of Dawson and the likes of Semedo, etc., we've got a big opportunity, to get at Wolves' defence. So it's very straightforward for me, and that's what I'm going to go with. So listen, there we go. That is it for the preview and the predicted lineup. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about that 11. If there's any changes, do let me know. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you a lot soon. I'm out of here.